Hello, everybody. I know I've got a lot of disc golf and Pokemon videos, but something else that I like is aquariums. And I used to have aquariums back in the day before I moved to Salt Lake City, but obviously I couldn't move them with me because it's too much work. So, and I was like a young college kid, didn't really have the funds for that. So, um, anyway, now I've got an aquarium again. I didn't really have much space because my apartment's like packed full of stuff. So I just ended up getting a 5.5 gallon tank made by Aqueon. You can see I've already got a light, an Aqueon light too. Now that we're talking about Aqueon, but um, yeah, I just got a 5.5 gallon tank because I was like, it'll be easy. It was only like $10 off PetSmart's website in February, and yeah, I will probably get a 10 gallon tank soon but it'll take up most of this space. There won't really be this extra space here. But yeah. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say but see, I said it twice already. Uh anyway, this is has two beta in it. I know people I mean, already based off experience, I would not suggest getting too. Well, I don't know. I mean, they do say that beta get depressed when they're by themselves, like, and I don't really see how. I mean, I just feel like if I were a fish, I'd want a friend too. So anyway, I got this little guy uh, a couple weeks ago, and he's a nice looking beta. He's just like some random beta. I don't know. He might be part dragon scale or something. I don't know. But he was mostly white when I got him, and now all this color has come in, and his fins are looking way bigger. Because I don't know why at pet stores they just seem like they're in smaller containers. I mean, I know beta can handle it, so they're like all right, but still, I wanted to part of the reason I wanted to get a beta was just so I could see him in a bigger tank. But anyway, I got him, and then he's a male. I got him, and then just a couple days ago, I went to get this little blue female right here, and she's really calm. She's also really small. That might be why she's calm, but anyway, I didn't have this tank divider, this green tank divider with the net. I didn't have it. I decided to try to put them together, but the mistake I think I really made is putting them together so early. Like, I didn't acclimate them long enough. I didn't even have this. I had to run and get it quickly from PetSmart. And put the male in it because the male kept on chasing her around. And she's really small, so she wasn't really prepared for that. She ended up hiding over here by the filter for like a while. And the reason I'm really telling you this is so that you don't make the same mistake as me. If you're gonna try to have more betas together, first of all, they say that males fight the most. And then, obviously, if you have a male and a female or some combination of that, they they will try to mate because that's what beta do. That's what fish do. They try to reproduce. So that's good. And then they say females are less likely to fight than males. And so anyway, I I wanted to try to get a male and a female, but the thing is that she's too small, and I didn't really acclimate them to the tank properly. So that's why I went and got this, and now they're separate and they can't hurt each other. Or well, really, the male can't hurt the female because he's way bigger. I mean, he grew a lot since I got him. the other day, or a couple weeks ago. But anyway, yeah, so don't make the same mistake and just that some people probably make and just throwing betas into the same tank together unless you have a separator, a divider, because sometimes they make dividers that, divide the tank literally in half, or, sometimes three. You can get a couple dividers and make a few spots in the tank. But I decided to go with this mesh thing, and they can't hurt each other. I mean, he can't chase her around. She has the whole tank to herself, and he has to deal with it because he's bigger and more mature. The idea behind that is that it will give the female time to get big, and also set up her own territory in the tank, so that if they are even able to stay together, which I doubt, because another thing about betas is that after they mate, the male protects the nest and is very territorial over the nest because the female has already done what she's going to do. And so the male chases her away. So, I mean, I literally don't even think that, I don't even think that I'll be able to have these together. I'm going to have to just get a separate tank or see if someone wants one of them. But, yeah, I mean, I'm telling you honestly, I'd be very careful about housing betas together. You can always get dividers, and that's good because, then they're in the same tank, the same water, and they're right next to each other and near each other, and that makes them feel much better. They won't feel as depressed being by themselves. But, I mean, that's the only I think that they're too prone to fighting, especially the males. The males are the aggressor, I feel like, after seeing them yesterday. So I'd be very careful about that. That's why they say that setting up harems, like a harem is where you have one male and a few females, and they say that works sometimes, but I mean, I don't even know if they say that the female can be just as aggressive, and maybe that's true when they're bigger, but anyway, I'm telling you from personal experience, I would be very careful about putting betas together, and have a good way to acclimate them to each other and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the main point of this video, is saying to just be careful when you put betas together, because I've seen personally already that they do like to chase each other. So if you are going to have them in the same tank, definitely get a mesh breeder or a tank divider so that they can still be in the same tank and feel like they have a friend, but they can't, they're not able to fight. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Because I knew, I figured if I posted this video, some of you would be like, you can't put them together and stuff. But I've seen videos of them in the same tank together. And, there's no other way for them to mate. They have to be together when they mate. So, in nature, they do be together. That was my idea. I was like, well, maybe they'll just be friendly to each other. But no, definitely the Siamese fighting fish proved that they will fight. And because they weren't like fighting, like he's a pretty calm beta, but the thing is, he's bigger than her, he swims faster than her, so he just kept chasing her around the tank, and she didn't know how to deal with it yet because she's too small. So, maybe when they're bigger, they'll actually mate, but I don't even think she's capable of mating yet, to be honest. She's that small. And that's how small he is, too. I mean, he's barely an inch and a quarter, maybe. I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe I don't know how big. Like, I can't really tell, but he might be an inch and a half. I'm not sure. But she's barely an inch or an inch and a quarter. So they're still very small. So seriously, I would be very careful putting betas together. But tank divider, mesh breeder like this, you're A-okay because they can't fight. or chase each other. So yeah, so I have the male in the smaller space, and I have her in the bigger space so that she can grow fast and get big, and then I can try to introduce them together some other time. But now I'm reminding myself again that you can't do that because the male will chase her away even after they mate. So anyway, they'll have to stay like this, or I'll have to get another tank. That's pretty much how this is gonna work. So for now, this is fine because he's bigger, he's more mature, he can handle just relaxing and she can spend her time in the tank getting big. So yes, I am not keeping them in the same tank. I will not let them chase each other. I knew that might happen, and I watched, and and then I was like, well, no, we gotta separate them. So yeah, maybe not the best idea, but I just wanted to see I didn't want to see what would happen. I thought they'd mate, but then I wasn't thinking about how small she was, so that was my mistake. But anyway, if you guys suggest me just separating them totally and putting them in different tanks, then I'll do that. But for now, they haven't fought. She actually likes to kind of stay close to him. Probably because he's bigger, she might feel weird about being by herself in the tank still because she's small. But she does seem to like to be close to him, which is strange, I know, because he used to chase her. But I don't know. Obviously, it's an intricate things can happen with the emotions of a fish. So, anyway, after I got bettas, I was like, cause I got bettas because I was deciding like, oh, they're an easy fish to. Oh, and these are live plants, by the way. This is an African fern, a Java ball, and some moss. And I've got this Aqueon plant light. It's for planted aquariums. And this is the first time I've ever had live plants. So, it's kind of a new experience for me. I'm hoping that they grow just fine. I'm sure they will. I'm sure the Java balls. I'm not sure about the moss because the moss had this metal on the bottom from PetSmart, and I couldn't get it off. I couldn't separate the moss from the metal, so I just put it in there. I figured it'd be fine. Let me know in the comments, please, what I should do about that metal on the bottom, because I thought that maybe it might just be so that it sinks to the bottom. But then I was like, maybe you're supposed to take it off. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Are you supposed to take the metal off? Because it's literally tied on there with some strings. Yeah. And also, please, if you're watching this, if you have any information on plants and aqua soil, please let me know, because right now I do not have any aqua soil in there. But I got the fern, the Java fern, and the African fern. Java fern is on the right here with the moss ball. You can see it. It's this little one. And then the African fern is right here. I buried that because it didn't have moss on it. Its roots were exposed. So I remember from some of my plant things that you're not supposed to leave them like that. You're supposed to have the roots buried. So I did. But the one with moss growing on it, I only put it halfway into the ground because I figured that moss will grow out too. So anyway, if you have any more information on plants, please let me know in the comments. Because I really want this tank. I really want the plants to be successful. I want this tank to be successful. Another weird thing that was happening was the beta, this top fin. It used to be called the top fin beta flow filter, but I think they changed it. They changed the box to just being called, let me see. Now they just call it Top Fin Betta Aquarium Filter. Something weird started happening. It was running fine at first, and I don't really like. I'll say it was running fine at first, but something I don't like about these in tank filters is that the cord is able to get wet. I don't understand how that works. I don't understand. I don't want electrical pulses to hurt my fish or my plants. I figure the plants will be more fine with it than fish would. But yeah, this beta flow filter started pulsing like it was either pumping too much water at once, and it had to recalibrate. The water had to flow back in or something. I'm not sure what started happening with it. I'm probably just gonna get a filter that hangs off, just a little 5-gallon nice one that the thing goes in and the water goes anyway out the outside filter that just pumps the water in and out, and that's all that's in there. Yeah, because I don't know why this filter started pulsing, so I have it unplugged. I don't know if you'll be able to hear, but I can plug it back in to see if you can tell what's happening with it. See, it runs fine, but it just starts... See, it pulses. See, I don't know why it's pulsing like that. So anyway, I'm probably just going to get a different filter. And, I can use this one for temporary tanks or something. I'll get another 5-gallon, get a 10-gallon. And, anyway, what I want to do, depending on what I do with these betas, I'll probably just get another 5-gallon tank and separate them. Maybe try to find a spot in here where I can put them right next to each other. I'll probably move all my discs and this old TV. I'll probably just move it and just put the tanks right next to each other or something. I don't know. Or I might, I don't know. I mean, I could have them take turns in this thing. Otherwise, I don't know what else to do. But it just seems slightly unfair to have the beta, stuck in here when he could be in the whole tank. But obviously, I can't have them together, so I'm not going to do that. But, see, they kind of like being close to each other. But anyway, I've got them separated. I've got the more mature one in here because he can handle being in there better than she can. So letting her just see the tank and have it all to herself. I'm not going to put them together, so don't worry about that. Please leave comments. You can still, for other people's reference, tell them, tell us what not to do and what to do. But I am going to keep them separated, so don't worry about that. The only other thing I want to do is maybe while she's still small, I want to get ghost shrimp, but I'm not sure. I feel like she'll probably try to eat them as soon as she gets big enough, so I don't know what to do about that besides to not get ghost shrimp yet, obviously. But yeah, I just bought these beta on a whim, kinda. So I wasn't thinking or planning ahead. But now that I see this tank and I have an aquarium again, I just kind of want to get some ghost shrimp. because I've actually never had shrimp before, and I heard ghost shrimp are pretty hardy, and they breed uh, easier than bettas do, obviously, because you have to like make sure the female's in a safe spot and blah blah blah. Oh yeah, speaking of that, something I could do is at when they're ready to breed, obviously, I could, figure out what I'm supposed to do to reintroduce them so that they can mate. Uh, I can let the male beta, stay in the tank while she stays in this little thing. So then, the male can do what he's supposed to do with the eggs. Like, because, if you're watching this, definitely, if you're thinking about trying to breed betas, definitely look up some other videos about how to breed them. Because, I mean, I've only learned a little bit from, like, the videos I've seen. But the male does take most of he's like in charge of the eggs. So you don't want to remove him from the eggs. You want to remove the female if you're gonna, because he will try to chase her around, and he tries to chase her away from the nest, and then he takes care of them until they hatch. So that's something important. That's why most people would keep the male in the tank and the female in a divider. And then when it's time, because he will he's territorial, and he builds a bubble nest in a safe spot, and then the female comes, and then they mate, and he collects the eggs. He does all the work. He puts the eggs in the bubble nest, and he will chase the female away when it's done. So anyway, that's something that is kind of off about this tank, is that usually you'd see the male in the tank and the girl in the divider, because she keeps her in a safe spot. But I'm not really trying to have them mate yet because they're too small. So that's why the female's in there. That's why he's in the divider. Yeah, so just in case you're going to say anything about that, I know, please let me know if I should change it. Like, if they're safe, better off, with the male outside and the girl inside, please let me know. Because I want to do the right thing. It's just that she's so small she can't mate anyway, so having them in mating positions, I wasn't sure if that was, like, what I should do. But I may change it. Please let me know if I should. Because if it keeps them in, like, a more natural cycle, then that seems like a better idea. Seems probably healthier for them. Yeah, so got the two betas. They're divided. They can't see. They can't get to each other. I've got real plants and the planted light. Something else I've got is the food and conditioners. They seem to like the pellets more than these flakes. Not sure why. Even the girl seems to stray. Like, you can see probably noticed the flakes. They're just floating around because they weren't really that into them. But the guy eats the pellets like crazy. I mean, I put like 5 or 6 in there, and he ate them all already. I don't see them any of floating in there or sinking. So, yeah, so I also got plant conditioner, Flourish. It says that it's safe for vertebrates, right? I think it says that. Yeah, it says Flourish is, what does it say? Excuse me. It says Flourish is safe for invertebrates such as shrimp. And, I mean, I asked the people at PetSmart, they said that it's not going to affect my fish, so that's good. But, anyway, these are the conditioners. I know this video's been long. I've got more to talk about. I'll post another video. Talk to you guys later.